everyone. My name is Dee. If you are not familiar with Flex Yoga, if you're logging in from EGCC now or later on, welcome. I hope that finals week is going smooth and well. And if you're logging in from Flex this evening, welcome. I can't wait to see you soon at the studio. Keep in touch on our social media for all the updates that you'll need. So again, my name is Dee. If you don't know me, I'm the manager of Flex Yoga Studios here in Worcester and in Orville. And if you are logging in as part of EGCC and you got hooked up with your student activities group, I actually went to elementary school with your coordinator, Abby Twyford. So I'm super excited to be here, to be doing this. I'm here in my basement. Our studio is still closed, and I do have really rambunctious cats. So this is Daisy. She's often around during my yoga classes. We'll go ahead and begin. This is going to be a 45-minute slow flow. So it's going to be optimal for newbies, for people who have been practicing yoga. If you'd like to slow it down, amp it up, we'll be settling into shapes for a little bit longer than I would in a vinyasa flow class, but there will be opportunities to flow in here as well. Absolutely no props are needed. Something that I like to have is just a pillow or a small blanket in order to sit on, because I like to raise my seat up, and also to place underneath of my knees, because we will be dropping our knees just a bit. So let's begin either in a comfortable seat or on your back, any way that is most comfortable to you. Take a few moments and allow yourself to get settled in any way that you'd like. And then check in with yourself. If at any time you begin to feel uncomfortable, you can move. And that's the same thing for every shape that we settle into, for every sequence that we do. I'm here to guide you, but this is absolutely your practice on your mat, so take what feels best to you. As you settle in, gently begin to close your eyes. Start to just take notice, take inventory of your body by doing a scan from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your fingers and toes. Just noticing how you're feeling, maybe trying to soften a bit. And begin to check in with your breath here. Notice it in its natural pattern, not working to change anything. Notice how your body feels as you inhale and exhale. And start to notice any thoughts that are going through your mind right now. Maybe it's stress or anxiousness, excited feelings or joy. Let yourself feel however it is that you feel in this present moment. Begin to let go of any thoughts of the past, any plans or worries for the future, and let yourself be right here, be present. Focus on the present moment by focusing on our breath. Beginning to breathe in and out through your nose, using your mouth if that's what feels better to you. Begin to deepen your breath, filling all the way up. Maybe pausing at the top, and then emptying out, nice and slow. Pausing empty at the bottom. Breathing all the way in, and all the way out. Beginning to find a pace and a depth of breath that suits you. If at any time your mind starts to wander or dwell on thoughts, worries, the past, the future, that's absolutely okay. Notice these things, and then allow them to move along. As you bring your focus right back to your breath here in the present moment, feel your breath moving through your body. Feel your belly fill up and your heart expand. Feel your breath all the way into your throat space. And as you empty, feel yourself grounding down onto your mat, body softening, letting go. And take a few moments here in quiet breath, allowing yourself to move and adjust if you need. And let your focus just be on inhales and exhales. As you become ready, gently blink your eyes open and start to find some gentle movements in your body. So if you're on your seat, maybe just rocking your head from side to side, finding some movement with your fingers and with your toes. If you're on your back, go ahead and begin to wake your body up, and then we'll all meet in a comfortable seat. So a couple of breaths to get there. Again, if you'd like to place something underneath of your seat to lift your hips up, you can absolutely do that. Once you arrive, find a comfortable position for your legs, and again, you can always readjust. We're going to continue breathing deep, inhaling and exhaling fully as we start to move with the breath. Let's begin to send your fingertips out to either side of your body, and then let's empty out completely all together here. As you inhale and fill up, begin to reach your arms up overhead. Maybe you gaze up, maybe your palms touch. Hold completely full, and as you exhale nice and slow, fingertips come back down to the mat, and they tap the mat just at the bottom of your breath. Letting your breath guide the movement, inhale, reach up, remembering your movements might not match mine. Exhaling all the way back down. Let's close our eyes here for a few rounds and just let the breath guide this movement. Nice and slow, letting each breath, each movement be complete. We'll change it up this time. On your next inhale, reach your arms up high. And as you exhale, we'll begin to find a twist to the right. So your right hand comes behind you. Your left hand can absolutely come to your right knee, or it doesn't have to. Sit up nice and tall. Really feel your seat pressing into the mat and the crown of your head reaching up towards the sky. Your gaze can be down, or it can start to move over your right shoulder. Using the breath to help us settle into this twist, on your next inhale, see if you can sit a little bit taller. Feel this space in the side of your body. And then as you exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. 1 more round. Inhale to sit up. And exhale, twist. We'll let it go. Inhale, come back to center. Reach your arms up high. And take it to the left. Left hand behind you. Right hand can come to your left knee. Let yourself settle in for a moment. And then begin to use the breath. Inhaling to sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little more. 2 more times. Inhale, come back to center, reach your arms up. And this time, let's exhale, goalpost our arms. So we're going to start to find a gentle heart opener. Your gaze can stay forward here. And let's start to engage in the arms to open the heart. So we're going to start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Feel your elbows and your biceps pulling back. And then if this feels good, maybe you start to look up as you breathe and feel your chest really lifting. And as you exhale, soften into the shape. Slowly tuck your chin. Begin to inhale, reach your arms back up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll make our way onto hands and knees now into a tabletop shape. You can place your knees on your blanket or on your pillow, or if you don't have one, you can fold your mat up so that way you have a little bit of extra cushion, or do nothing at all. That's fine as well. So let's start off talking about our hands and our wrists. We want to spread our fingertips as wide as we can. Our index fingers are going to be facing the front, and then the rest of the fingers will settle in around. Anytime we put weight into our hands, we want to really press into our knuckles, and we want to press into the space between the index finger and the thumb and not let it lift up. And what that does is it starts to take some weight out of the wrists. If we're shifting this weight forward, then we're not dumping it into our wrists. So let's go ahead and find that shape. Index fingers pointing towards the front of the mat, and then spread the rest of your fingers around them as wide as you can. And just for a moment, start to find this engagement. Start to press your knuckles down into the mat. Maybe you even see them turning white. And then gaze at that spot between your index fingers and your thumb, so that way you're really thinking about it, and feel yourself pressing that down. We won't spend a whole lot of time on our wrists today, but it's really important that we practice this anytime we can, so that way we can get used to protecting our wrists. So let's go ahead and stretch the wrists out by shifting the shoulders forward a bit until you start to feel that stretch for the back of your arm and for your wrist. If you feel any pain, definitely come out of this, and then begin to rock your shoulders from side to side just a bit. If it feels okay to you, start to take your index fingers and point them to 10 and 2. So just a little bit towards the outside of the mat. And again, rock from side to side, maybe some circles with your shoulders here. And now if it feels okay, we're going to point the index fingers towards the outside edges of the mat. So 9 and 3. You are in control of the intensity of this stretch. The closer together your wrists are, the more intense it will be. The further apart they are, it'll feel a little bit gentler. So a few rocks from side to side. And then you can stay right here, or if it feels okay and it doesn't cause you any pain, you can begin to take those fingertips and point them towards your knees. Maybe you sink back a bit. Again, just looking for a stretch. If you're someone who does a lot of typing on your phone or on a keyboard, this can feel really great, even if it's not for yoga, even if you're just stretching out your wrists, just noticing these places of our body that we sometimes ignore. Then as you're ready, we're going to slowly let this go and take the index fingers and bring them towards the front of the mat again. We're going to gently take the wrists the opposite direction. So we're going to keep the left hand just as it is and pick up the right and start to flip it so that the palm is facing up. This might be absolutely enough. If you'd like more, you can start to sink back. You can even keep yourself up on your knuckles if this is a lot for your wrists. You might feel this in the front of your forearm. And then when you're ready, shake it out and we'll repeat on the other side. You'll notice I take things a lot gentler on my left wrist because I do have some left wrist issues and some just gentler on it. And I encourage you to do that. Modify and change as you need. And then when you're finished, shake it out. Both hands pressing down into the mat. And now just for a moment, let's tuck the toes and sink the hips back. Stretching the feet, stretching the calves. Take a few rocks from side to side with your hips. And then we'll come back forward and untuck the toes. So now we're in a tabletop. Crown of the head is reaching the front of the mat. Engage in your belly button. Feel it pulling up to your low back. And that doesn't mean suck in your belly. It just means try to find those muscles. Try to find a nice straight spine. Come back to your deep breathing if you've lost it. Feel a bit of engagement in your arms by separating your shoulder blades up towards the sky. And now let's start to move with the breath again. On an inhale, drop your belly down. Head and tail reach up, coming into a cow pose. And as you empty, we're going to take everything the opposite direction. Really press those shoulder blades apart. Tuck your chin into cat pose. And now start with your tailbone and find a wave in your spine. Tailbone, belly drops, heart lifts, look up, cow pose. Keep your head lifted as you exhale. Start with your tailbone, belly lifts. Shoulders separate, then chin tucks. Inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. A few rounds using your own breath. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe slow down these waves as much as you can. Maybe you even take more than one breath for the transition. One more round. And then come back to neutral tabletop. So we are going to build a down dog here, and if weight is too much in your wrists, you can absolutely come straight up to a standing position or stay here in this tabletop. Check back in with your hands. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. Index fingers pointing to the front of the room, pressing into those knuckles, into the space between your index finger and thumb. And then let's tuck the toes, lift the hips. So, heels are lifted, and knees are bent. Begin to press into your hands. Press your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. And now let's pedal it out. Bending the knees. One and then the other, rocking the hips from side to side. Head is really heavy here, so if you find yourself trying to look down or look forward, go ahead and give your head a nice shake, yes and no, and let the crown of your head just reach for the mat. So not worrying about straight legs, about heels touching the mat here, just thinking of chest towards thighs and seat towards ceiling. Let's settle in for a few breaths in stillness. Now we're going to walk the feet and the hands towards one another. Once you arrive, we're going to stay bent in this fold and start to heel toe the feet out to the wide edges of your mat. Find a really deep bend in your knees and then let yourself just hang. Coming into a ragdoll here, begin to grab opposite elbows with opposite hands and let yourself start to sway and move. So in this shape, we're releasing tension in our spine, in our neck, and in our shoulders. And we're using the weight of our head to do that. So you can absolutely find a nice shake with your head, yes and no. You can find movements, you can find stillness. Letting your belly or chest rest on your thighs. And breathe in this present moment. Let your fingertips drape down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a sigh through your mouth. Nice and slow, inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Crown of your head is heavy until you reach the top. And then reach your arms up high overhead. Stay until you take another inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Settle in here. Let's take our feet and bring them about hip distance apart. We're going to move through that same sequence that we did on our seat, but standing now. On your next inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, twist to the right. We're going to leave our arms open. So hips are square. Kind of want to pull that right hip forward. And this twist is coming from the torso. On your next inhale, come back to center. Sweep your arms up. Maybe look up. Exhale, twist open to the left. Feel your feet grounding down into the mat. So we look to find space in our bodies. And now we open our hearts. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, goal post your arms, open your heart. So again, you could squeeze the shoulder blades together and keep your chin tucked. Or you can begin to lift up through your spine and your heart and let your head hang heavy. Maybe you even begin to press your hips forward just a bit, if this feels okay to you. Slowly tuck your chin. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, bend your knees forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs and straighten your spine. We'll stay here for an extra round of breath so you can really feel this shape. Crown of your head is reaching forward, gaze is down at the mat. Take another inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Now moving with the breath, inhale, rise up, reach your arms up high. Exhale, twist open to the right. Inhale, right back to center. Exhale, twist open to the left. Right back to center. Let your arms sweep big here. Exhale, goalpost, open your heart. Inhale, right back up, tuck your chin. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift as you fill up. Fold as you breathe out. Inhale, rise up, reach up. This time we're going to stay standing and exhale, hands will come to heart center. Building a chair pose here, you have lots of options. So you can bring your big toes together to touch as you will traditionally here in class with a small gap between your heels. You can also keep your feet absolutely parallel. That's totally fine. So let's begin to build our first chair pose. Feet can be arranged in any way that you'd like. We'll use an inhale to reach the arms up high. And as you exhale, start to sit back into your chair. So your chair can be really up high, or it can begin to be down low. If you find yourself shifting weight forward, then go ahead and lift your chair up a bit. We want our weight to be in our heels. Maybe you can even float your toes a bit. Taking any arch out of your spine, so if you find a banana back here, zip that belly button towards the back and straighten the spine out. Fingertips are reaching up and shoulders are soft. Hands can also be to heart center. Steady your gaze, steady your breath here. You may notice the shape coming into your face. Maybe you'll start to feel some tension there. Open your mouth, wiggle your jaw from side to side, let that go. Soften your brows, send your breath right into the legs, right where you feel this. Let's stay here for one more full round of breath. Take another inhale. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale, stand up, open your arms, open your heart. Exhale, hands come to heart center, fingertips down by your side. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale right back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Step your feet out and exhale. Goal post your arms. Open your heart. Inhale right back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. A sigh through your mouth as you fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Step your feet together. Exhale, chair. One breath in here. Breath out, sink a little lower. Inhale, rise up, open up, spread your arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Fingertips down by your side. Inhale, circle them right back up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back up, step your feet apart. Exhale, goal post, open your heart. Inhale, right back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Sigh it out, fold again. And now bend your knees, plant your hands, finding a plank pose. Your plank pose can be with knees lifted or lowered, whatever suits you here. Find a place where you can settle and where you can breathe. Wherever you are, knees lifted or lowered, belly is engaged towards back, shoulders are separating, gaze is steady, breath is steady. If your knees are lifted, feel your heels reaching for the back of the room. Let yourself get a bit shaky as you fill up. And as we exhale, we're all going to lower all the way down, squeezing your elbows in towards your sides. Finding a Sphinx pose here. Bring your forearms and your hands to the mat. So let's start off with a bit of an angle, with the elbow crease a bit in front of the shoulders. Begin to press into the tops of your feet and start to lift your kneecaps up. Begin to press into your hands, press into your forearms, and imagine that you're pulling them back towards your body. Feel yourself pulling through the gate of your arms. Nice, steady inhales and exhales. Now, if you're ready, bring your elbows back so they're underneath of your shoulders. Same engagements here if you'd like. And then begin to crawl your hands out towards the left and right edges of your mat and start to press into them. And begin to straighten your arms, coming into a seal pose. So if you begin to feel this in your low back, let it go. If you feel any pain, you can engage in your legs here still, pressing into the tops of your feet, lifting them up, or you can begin to let that go. Gaze can be down, straight forward, or you can even begin to look up. Again, if you feel any pinching, let's let that go and come back down to Sphinx pose. We'll take another inhale here, and then come back down onto the forearms. From the forearms, let's clasp our hands together and tuck the toes. And you have a couple of options. We're going to move into a forearm plank for a bit of core work. So your forearm plank can be lifting up with your knees lifted. Yours can be with your knees dropped, but if your knees are dropped, let's shift the shoulders forward so that way our knees aren't doing a whole lot of the work here and our core is still doing the work. So we'll stay here for another round of breath. Feel your core working. And then nice and slow, we're going to come onto hands and knees. We're going to find a child's pose. Bring your big toes towards one another. Walk your knees out wide. Let your belly and chest come down to the mat. You can come onto your forearms. You can start to reach your fingertips forward. Rest your forehead down. I won't do that here because it'll make my microphone really noisy. But find a child's pose that suits you. Come back to your breath. Come back to the present moment. We'll slowly come out of this shape, through hands and knees, and into downward facing dog. Pedal it out if you'd like. Once you land, take a deep breath in through the nose, and a sigh through your mouth. Take your left foot, step it a little bit towards the center of your mat, and begin to lift your right leg up long. So you don't have to lift it real high. Right toes are pointing down towards the mat. Right hip is in line with the left, so we don't want to open it up just yet. Let's use the leg and use the glute. Build some heat here for a moment. Then when you're ready, we'll slowly peel the hip open, starting to bend the knee, starting to bring the heel towards the seat. You can absolutely drop this back knee down if you'd like. Maybe you begin to gaze underneath of your right armpit. Some circles might feel good with your knee, or maybe stillness is what suits you here. Take another inhale, fill up. And as you exhale, we're going to square off the hips, come up onto your back toes, bring that knee forward, and squeeze. Inhale, let's lift back up, three-legged dog. Exhale again, pull it through and squeeze, shifting shoulders forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, pull it through and squeeze. And now we're going to plant that right foot down and drop the back knee. Rise up. Start to crawl your right toes forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Maybe one hand to your hip, one to your front knee, and start to settle in. This can be a really great place for a blanket underneath of your left knee. And now let's slowly bring the right foot back so you have a 90-degree angle. Use an inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Right hand can come behind you. Maybe left hand to your right knee. You can also keep your wings spread here. Use an inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So coming into a kneeling warrior two. Palms are towards the mat. Fingertips are reaching for the front and back of the room. See if you can sink into this right knee just a little bit more. Feel this stretch. Inhale, come right back to center. And you know it. Exhale, goal post your arms, open your heart. You can crawl those right toes forward again and begin to sink into your hip flexor. Tuck your chin, reach your arms up overhead, maybe pull the right foot back, take an inhale. Exhale, hands plant around your right foot. Tuck your left toes, straighten your left leg. Let's stay here for a moment in this low lunge. Begin to look right beside your right foot. That's where we want our left foot to land. If we take a few steps, that's okay. On your next inhale, we're going to launch forward to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let your fingertips come down by your side. Let's breathe for a moment here. Feel your feet grounding down into the mat. Crown of your head reaching up to the sky. Shoulders actively relaxing down away from your ears. Chair pose is next. Big toes together to touch if you would like. Use an inhale, sweep your arms up, sink your hips down. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale, stand up, open your heart, open your arms. Exhale, hands come through heart center and circle down. As you inhale, reach them back up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. And exhale to the left. Back to center as you breathe in, step your feet apart. Exhale, goalpost, open your heart. Inhale, right back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Sigh it out, fold again. Bend your knees, plant your hands, find your plank pose. And then we lower all the way down using your next exhale. Keep your hands underneath of your shoulders this time. Squeeze your elbows in towards one another. 3 rolling cobras. Inhale, lift your heart up. Gaze stays down. Exhale, roll down. Crown of the head rests on the mat. Inhale, lift up tops of the feet, press into the mat, squeeze your elbows together. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up shoulders away from ears. Exhale, lower down. Let's tuck our toes and press up either to high plank or tabletop, and then find a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a sigh here. Right foot comes towards center. Lift your left leg. Left toes stay pointed down. Left hip is in line with right. Feel the stretch for your right leg. And then when you're ready, bend your left knee. Start to bring your left heel towards your seat. Maybe start to look underneath of your left armpit and draw some circles if you like. Can also find stillness. Can also drop your back knee. Take another inhale. Exhale all the way around. Left knee comes forward, shoulders come forward. Inhale, right back up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, back through again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale all the way through. Left foot plants, back knee drops. Crawl your left toes forward. And let's settle in. Start to bring your left foot back a bit. Use an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, right back to center. And then we're going to open them to the right, coming into our kneeling warrior 2. You can crawl your left foot forward a bit. Sink into that hip if you'd like. Reaching your fingers far to the front and back of the mat. Inhale, right back up. Exhale, open your heart. Inhale, tuck your chin, reach up. Exhale, hands plant. Tuck your back toes. Let's lift that back leg up and hold here. On your next inhale, we come forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, through your mouth, fold. Plant your hands. Step back to down dog this time. One final down dog. And when you're ready, we meet on our backs. Stepping through, coming all the way down onto your back. Once you arrive, soles of your feet are on the mat, knees are up towards the sky. We'll windshield wiper the knees side to side a few times. And then leave your left foot planted across the right leg over the left. Stay here for a moment, press your right knee away to stretch that hip. Then when you're ready, we're going to let everything fall to the left. Coming into a figure 4 supine twist, right hip will lift. Shoulders stay grounded. Maybe you begin to look over your right shoulder. Slowly bring this back to center. And we're going to reach for the back of our right thigh, or for the outer edge of our right foot, or for our right big toe, to come into a half happy baby on the right side. And it might feel good here to begin to straighten this right leg. You absolutely don't have to, and you could keep a hold of the thigh or of the calf if you'd like. If you'd like to add that hamstring stretch into the hips here, though, this feels pretty good. We'll slowly let go of this half happy baby or extended leg stretch and begin to let the right foot plant down onto the mat. Cross the left leg over the right and press the left knee away for a moment. And then we'll slowly let everything fall to the right. Figure 4 supine twist here, shoulders glued down. You can gaze over your left shoulder. And we'll slowly bring the legs back to center. Again, reaching for the back of the left thigh, for the outside edge of the left foot, or for the left big toe. Start to find a half happy baby with this knee pulling down towards the mat, or start to straighten the leg, opening the hip and stretching the hamstring at the same time. And let go of that stretch. We're going to bring both knees into the chest. So you can either reach for the back of your knees, around your shins. And we're going to start to lift the chest up. So bringing nose towards knees, tucking the chin in. Start to find all the tension that you can in your body. Start to tighten all of your muscles, even the muscles in your face. Take a deep breath in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let yourself shake here. And then exhale, open up, let it all go. We'll begin to find our final rest. This can be on your back, on your side, on your belly, anywhere that you'd like. And again, for a moment, we'll come back into this deep, steady breathing. Slow, complete inhales and exhales. Let yourself let go of all work and let yourself settle in here for absolutely as long as you'd like. I will leave you here in this final resting shape. You can press pause on the video. Just rest as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining us today.